All right, Rickie Fowler, 5/75. Rickie, can you talk us through that final round today?
I just didn't have it today. Iron play was very below average and didn't make anything. So that's a big thing in majors, especially on a Sunday, making putts and kind of keeping it fairly stress-free. But it was kind of the opposite. I was kind of fighting through it all day. Felt like I drove it, at least good enough to where, iron play stays how it's been and make some putts. It's a little different situation, but yeah, being a little off, like I said, with irons and not making anything. Like I said, I didn't have it and couldn't get anything going today.
Ultimately came up short, but what are you going to take away from this week?
I was really excited on how I felt this week, how comfortable I felt. To go out and back up my first round and continue to play well. No, I enjoyed it. I mean, you learn from all your experiences. Not the position I wanted to be in after today, but a lot of good coming from this week.
Start to your left, Todd.
Rick, how was the range today, and what was it about the irons that didn't feel comfortable like they did earlier in the week?
I felt really good on the range. Warm-up was good. It was more, I feel like early in the week I was getting a lot of really good numbers, and I was probably a little bit more in between on some shots out there today, and just missed some of my lines. I wasn't as tight in hitting my spots, and that was how it was. Especially the first 2 days. I had a lot of control and was able to kind of place the ball where I wanted on greens. And today I was just a bit off, whether it was left, right, more so than distance control, and just wasn't able to put the ball in the proper position where I could go be aggressive to make putts.
Stay here with Rex.
Two, if I can, Rickie. You and Wyndham seemed to have a moment after you putted out. What was exchanged there? What did you tell him?
I told him, obviously congrats and, proud of him. Him, being a guy that was at Oklahoma State. He obviously didn't finish there. He went to Oregon to finish up, but he's still a Cowboy. We had a good time the last 2 days. I feel like we both enjoy, going out and chatting throughout the round and keeping it, fairly. Try and keep things light, but it's still a major in the final group the last 2 days. But and then last I went back in there and just said your mom was with you. She'd be very proud.
And then you've been through this a couple of times in the past, but given what you've gone through the last few years, will it be more difficult or easier to kind of process this?
No, this is after the last few years being in this position and. Kind of how I talked about how comfortable I felt this week. This is great. I mean, as much as it sucks to, not be in the position I wanted to be after today, but we're just continuing to build and continuing to move forward. So, like I said, not the finish I wanted, but there's a lot of really good things to take from this week, and we're continuing to move forward.
Stay right there with Dylan.
Yeah, Rickie, I'm curious. Was there a point out there where you realized, all right, I no longer have a chance to win the tournament?
I think probably when Wyndham hit it in there on 14. That was a very good shot in the situation and moment. Obviously made 4. I thought if I could make that putt on the next, which I nearly did. I thought that might kind of give me a shot to get a 2-shot swing and maybe make a run in the last 3. But no, I knew I was on the outside looking in. But at the same time, you never know what's going to happen. You don't wish bad on anyone, but it's tough to close out tournaments. So yeah, somewhere I'd say probably when I missed the fairway on 16, I knew that was going to be a tough hill to climb from there.
And then just thinking back to last year, you were first alternate at this tournament. What do you make of that 12 months between then and now today being in contention?
Oh, I definitely think we're heading the right direction. Yeah, it's been nice to be back and have chances in tournaments, or at least getting solid finishes and turning weeks that, maybe not have my best stuff and maybe finish top 20 or top 10 or whatever it may be. And like I've mentioned before, I feel like I get more out of those weeks, knowing that when I do have my good stuff, I know I can go win and go toe-to-toe with anyone. We had a lot of good stuff this week. Unfortunately, today we just couldn't get it going. So, the last, 10, 12 months has been great. Heading the right direction, and we're still going forward and up.
Back to your right.
Rickie, you talk about playing well the last 10, 12 months, and the first 3 rounds of this tournament, things went so well for you. But what is the emotion maybe you're feeling right now more than anything else, considering obviously this didn't turn out the way you'd hoped?
Obviously very bummed, but being able to see my daughter before scoring, it takes a lot of that away, because in the kind of big picture, big scheme of things, yes, we want to win tournaments and be the one holding the trophy, but she could care less if I shoot 65 or 85. So I was excited that she was able to stay up. We pushed her past her bedtime, or I didn't. But to have her there, and then we'll travel to Travelers tomorrow morning. It kind of just makes you realize and understand, like, golf is special and it's what I love to do, but it's definitely not everything.
We'll do 2 more. Start with Alex.
Yeah, Rickie, you talked to Rory just before you came in here. Can you kind of give us an understanding of what you guys talked about?
We just said it was tough out there. It got crispy. I think we both struggled with a lot of the uphill putts over the last few days, because they started to put some pins on a lot more slope from Friday through the weekend. And even when you're underneath with the hole, which is the proper side, with how much slope there is there, it's just hard to get yourself to actually hit it hard enough. You feel like you're gonna blow it off the green or blow it 5-6 feet by, and that's the last thing you want is 3 or 4% slope and have a 4 to 6 foot slider. So it's a fine line. And for me, unfortunately, I struggle with that. Struggle with some distance putts, but sounds like he may have been in a similar situation.
Last question over to your right.
Hey, Rickie. You mentioned Maya. I wanted to ask you about your dad. He's always seemed like sort of like a particularly chill dad for someone who has an elite athlete as a kid. Any lessons you take from him?
Yeah, really everyone in my family, from my dad to my mom, my grandpa, my grandma. We're all a pretty chill family. So to have that surrounding growing up and still to this day, it's great to be able to have them around. And again, it doesn't change how they think about me or view me, no matter how I play or shoot. They're obviously excited to see me succeed and do well, but they're more about who I am and Maya and family, and golf's just a bonus.
Thanks, Rickie.
Thanks.